If you already subscribed, don't forget to press that nice little subscribe button down below this video. It's just calling your name. Press me. Press me. Anyways, cue the goddamn intro. It's no secret that all of us probably want something different, or similar to one another, for what we want in the 30th anniversary game, which should hopefully be releasing this year. Some of us want boost, most of us want adventure, and a few people want a completely new gameplay style. But in today's video, I will give my opinion on what an ideal anniversary game would be, a game that pleases everyone, except for the classic fans. Sorry guys, but you are irrelevant this anniversary, you had your time 4 years ago. No offense. But without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let us discuss the topic at hand. And then we're going to discuss the little things first, before going to the bigger things. Firstly, the soundtrack. I think that we need another soundtrack, where we have the same composers from TSR. We have Crush 40 doing the main theme of the game, then we have Jun Sonoe, Tomoyo Otani, and T. Lopez, working on the rest of the soundtrack. TSR really had one of the best soundtracks in the series. There were so many amazing remixes, my favourite being Sand Road. I just find it surreal that they managed to remix Sun Hill, a chill piece of music, into Sand Road, one of the most energetic tracks in the game. The original tracks are what shine though. Just look at my intro. There's such an adventure vibe in the soundtrack. Just listen to Thunderjack. Amazing. If you keep on getting music in the same style of that, it's safe to say that we will always have a phenomenal soundtrack to listen to. One thing that needs to be said is that they really need to chill with the synths. Sometimes they can sound good, but when they're overused, it doesn't really sound all that great. Which is why a lot of people don't like Force's soundtrack, because instead of actual instruments, there's just synths littered everywhere. We do actually get to hear pianos, guitars and orchestra. It sounds amazing. Luminous Forest has the perfect balance of synths. The guitars go real hard, the piano in the background brings the whole thing together. Mortar Canyon is also a really slept on track in my opinion. As much as I love the remixes, I don't think we need to just have a fully original soundtrack. Maybe some references here and there in menus and cutscenes, but 95% original please. Moving on from the music, I think this game should return to Earth. Bring back the humans. It doesn't just have to be like Sonic Unleashed where it's completely based on Earth. They can just go back to the adventure planet. It still had realism, but creativity too. The only reason I want to go back to Earth is because of Gun. That's literally the whole reason. If it wasn't for Gun, I would say for them to be as creative as possible with the different locations they have, because I am looking for another rendition of Green Hill for the 10 billionth time. Oh god no. If I see Green Hill, I will lose all hope in Sega and it won't be pretty. Not at all. The story and tone will be interesting. I think the story should be handled like Sonic Adventure 1, with a story for each character, so that if you don't like a certain gameplay style, you can just play the gameplay styles that you want. You won't need to force yourself through the unwanted, but doing so will cost you the final story. The story should be in the same tone as Sonic Unleashed, as I think it would fit the current fanbase very well. It wouldn't be overly dark like Shadow the Hedgehog, but not all fun and games like Sonic Colors, just the perfect balance. There should be a brand new villain for this game, but if they can't do that for some reason, they just need to have the villain be Eggman, because if you have another returning villain, like Infinite, it could seem like a sequel to the previous game where the villain was in. Now, in terms of what story there should be, I think there should be a Sonic story, obviously, a Shadow story for the fans, a Knuckles story, Tails story, and an Eggman story. I know a lot of people are going to hate this, but I think that Silver and Blaze shouldn't be in this story. I think it's because it just messes with the canon. After the events of 06 and the flames of disaster being blown out, Sonic isn't supposed to know who Silver is. Yet, as we've seen in Generations and Forces, Sonic knows him somehow. And it just doesn't make any sense, does it? The reason Blaze should be excluded is because it involves dimensions, and at this current moment, I think I could just leave out dimension travelling for now because it has been established in Forces that classic Sonic was from another dimension, and we ain't about to go down that route again. The only way I think Sega can bring back Silver, I don't want them to since my favourite Sonic character, but only if done right, is if they have Sonic and Silver meet again, but they don't know each other, and then eventually they become friends. This will fit nicely in the Sonic timeline between 06 and Generations. We'll explain how and why Sonic and Silver know each other, and things will make sense again, just the way I like it. Now then, for the most important part of any video game, the gameplay. As I said before, this game should feature a Sonic, Shadow, Tails, Knuckles, and Eggman story, meaning they are the playable characters. I know a lot of people miss out on fan favourites like Rouge, Omega, and the Chaotix, but Sega need to get down the main gameplay styles first. Then we could have lots of other characters, because the other characters are basically just the same style of gameplay as the one I've just mentioned. Each of these characters will have their own unique gameplay style, but you might say, Unleash? I thought you said that Sonic and Shadow are playable. Well, you're right, good listening skills, but they will still have their own unique gameplay styles. Sonic will have the boost, although there are still a lot of people out there who want another boost game this year, and this would fulfill their wants. These stages should last around 3 to 4 minutes if you're good at the game and take all the faster pathways, but the final stage should be the longest one, around 6 to 7 minutes. Yes, I know, long. People will get annoyed over this, but I do think there can still be 2D sections, but it should still be predominantly 3D. A 1 to 3 ratio of 2D to 3D is perfect. Having 2D sections would allow the classic fanboys to get something that they can possibly have some enjoyment in. They won't be completely neglected, just a bit of room to give them what they want. These boost stages should be on the same level as Generations, in terms of level design and linearity, but not in terms of difficulty and length. This generation wasn't that hard, and a lot of his stages felt short. Now for Shadow. This is where adventure gameplay comes into action. Finally, adventure fans will get what they've been waiting for since Sonic Adventure 2 in 2001. These stages should be designed how they were in SA1 and SA2, pretty much. Fully 3D, around 3.5 minutes of length, open, lots to find and explore, but like Sonic, the final stage needs to be quite long compared to the rest because it's the final stage and needs to feel that way. Since it's Shadow after all, it would be neat if we could get some of Shadow's signature moves, like Chaos Spear and Chaos Blast, just to make combat more interesting than just a simple homing attack. This should honestly be handled like 06, where defeating enemies refills the Chaos Energy bar, and when it's full, Shadow can use Chaos Blast. Chaos Spear should be something Shadow can use at any time. Tails should not be in a mech. He should be like he was in SA1, free as a bee, even though he's a two-tailed fox. These shouldn't be races though, just normal stages. Again, these would be fully 3D, and the same premise with the stage length. I think if you had his moveset from 06, this with added tail whip and spin dash, it'd be perfect for combat and gaining speed. Tails' stages should definitely take advantage of flight, maybe having an item box like Heroes, where Tails refills his energy so he can carry on flying. You could leave some pretty insane sections flying over bottomless pits in a final level or something like that. Now the kid that does it chuckle will be like SA2, but with the radar from SA1, and some elements of combat, so basically a mix of SA1, SA2, and 06 Knuckles gameplay. Instead of searching for emerald pieces, Knuckles could be searching for keys to open a door or something, just not emerald pieces, as we'll be getting pretty old with having Knuckles revive the Master Emerald for the 3rd time now. Now for Eggman. He should be in a mech, with a focus on platforming and combat. He should be faster, feel less clunky than SA2, and should have level design that doesn't get too boring, as that was the main problem with the mech in SA2. All the bosses for each of these characters should be unique for each character, and complement their moveset. Final thing, there should be 10 stages and 3 bosses for each character, a good amount I would say. The final story is obviously a Supersonic fight, but I think it would be awesome if we could get more than just Supersonic. Yes, Super Shadow. But hold on, we also know some other characters who are also capable of using the power of the Chaos Emeralds. That's right, the rest of Team Sonic. It would be awesome to finally see Knuckles and Tails have an actual super form in a 3D game, like the classics, instead of just a yellow shield around them. Anyways, that's about wraps it for today's video. I honestly think that if we got the previously mentioned things for the anniversary game this year, or next year even, everyone would be satisfied, except for the classic fans. We would have boost, adventure gameplay, and multiple playable characters. Can't go wrong with that, can you? Hope you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, especially that last one, and I hope to see you next time. Peace!